start with, all right?
Deal.
Deal. And just so you know, we're live now, so.
That son of a biscuit.
Take two. That's what we
Take
say.
2 for 3. Damn it. So I found the blades, so I have more blades now. Heck yeah. Greatest video, man. So never bothered me anyway. So I don't have any tape. So I went to go look for tape because, tape. You need it. It's what everybody wants, what everybody craves. Tape.
You don't need tape.
Hey,
There's many different ways you can do it. You can use binder clips. You can use staples. You can use really a bunch of different things. It just depends on how clean and how good you want your final project to be.
You wait till now to tell me all that?
It's just a whole lot easier if you have tape. And then there's different types of tape. There's double-sided tape, which is the one I use the most. Double-sided, which if I can find. Yeah, I bought myself some new tape here just today. So, new Scotch double-sided tape. If, as you can see here, Hobby Lobby, it's only $3. So, double-sided tape works really well.
Oh, I need it so much.
Or you can use whatever this is called, tape something.
All right. I'm going to show you what tape I have. This is black duct tape. This is electrical tape. This is.
That doesn't look like electrical tape. That looks like masking tape. Like painter's tape, if anything.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, so here is regular duct tape, and here is carpet tape. I have no regular tape, so I went to look because my wife works in construction, and this is what I have right now. So I'm going to find a way to finagle. Oh, maybe this masking one might work.
Do you have any Post-it notes? Do you?
Do you know, like the Apollo mission where they were looking for random crap and they kept asking him for stuff that they didn't have?
Well, I don't know what you do and don't have. You said she does a lot of. She's like the secretary, right? So she's probably got Post-it notes somewhere.
I am going to use this.
Because honestly, I've used the sticky side of Post-it notes. I just cut off the very top and use this side to help hold paper together so I can do my cutouts.
Nope. Using masking tape. That's all I got.
How big is your project? You have to cut that big of a piece.
It's man sized. Okay. Oh, crap. Oh, just a quick heads up. If you are going to start this, the mat and the knife are the two most important things, because if you try to cut on anything that isn't covered by this, it will scratch the crap out of it. It'll scratch a table. It'll scratch a counter. It will scratch pretty much anything. So the reason we have this is because this desk is nice. IKEA. Second hand me down. I think I stole this from somebody. Anyway, I don't want to ruin this desk. So this mat, don't damage your roommates, parents, grandfathers, uncles. I don't know who else. Concubines, table, and stuff. Use these mats. They're self-healing. They don't cost that much on Amazon. Use them. All right. My spiel's done. Governor, you have the floor. Governor? Ah, son of a bitch. Don't be disconnected again. Wow, every time I rant and rave, it just kicks them off. Kind of makes me real happy. Now you're back. So I just cut little strips and I'm just putting them all over the place. Like here, back there. I just need to make sure this top paper and the bottom paper do not move. Because if they do, it makes the project all loopy and wonky. So right now we're doing abstract shapes. I just went to Google, looked up shapes, like simple, like stencil ones, and this is what I brought. But so these ones, as you can tell, they're a little bit harder than what I had before. So you're going to work on like things that might look like hair, like that one right there, like parts of a face, a tentacle, football, a star. I don't know, but these are not general ones you're going to run across. So find something with really thin lines, so you have experience doing that. The more awkward the shape and the more little time invested, like these don't take much time to invest in them. And if I screw it up, I'm not going to, cry myself to sleep. If I screw it up, it's not bad, but it gives me enough experience knowing what to do and how to handle them. And hopefully the expert will give me some advice as I get started.
So as we explained in the last video, that using a template is the best way to make Kirie for beginners. So getting yourself a template will help you a lot. So he just searched random shapes, as he said, and hopefully eventually he wants to work on something.
No, we're going to do one by tonight. I can assure you that.
Here, let me see if I can find the one you wanted to do. Oh, here it is.
The Sailor Moon one. Yeah.
Put it in, whatever that was. So this picture here, right? This Sailor Moon picture.
Yeah, that seems like the best one to do just for my skill level. Well, eventually, that's like the coup de grace. For you, it's no issue, but for me, it's like freaking A.
So,
ooh, that knife turning technique, man! When you have to do a corner, just like whoop, freaking works.
Like it takes practice. Takes a little bit of a while to get used to it.
I'm a master already.
Because you don't want to do it too fast or put too much of an angle because you'll break the very tip of your pen. The very tip is what you use a lot to do your cutting. So eventually we're going to get to this silhouette that Mr. Lean here wants to take care of. The only other issue is, like, are you going to cut out the black or are you going to leave the black? Are you going to want to have this as your own image or are you going to have it kind of like a stencil?
Don't I get both anyway?
No, because since you're a beginner, you don't want to put too much time into just trying to get it 100% perfect. Because if you do it perfect, you'll get both, but that's not what you want all the time. Sometimes you can just cut a section of it out and then cut another section of it out and then cut the other section out as you move through to try to get the stencil version. Or if it's on the outside, you don't have to be perfect. You can have a little more leeway and a little more play. Because when you're beginning, you don't want to spend too much time being perfect. You want to just try to get as much practice as you can with knowing how much pressure to put on the blade, how much it takes to pull the blade without dragging the paper, and learning also to tell when the blade is starting to get dull, because if you cut while the blade is dull, it'll drag the paper and then it'll start to scrunch up depending on how thin the paper is. I had that problem when I first started a lot, where I'll be working on here and I'll be pulling it, and then it'll just scrunch up everything that I was working on rather than cut it because the blade was dull.
Well, I just changed the blade, so I think I should be fine for tonight. It's like the blades aren't expensive. By the way, if you want to see what I started with when we had that other session and kind of like in comparison. Oh crap! Come on. So these were the blades that I had when I was working at work. And you can tell they're very girthy. They're very big. And
overcompensating.
Yep, overcompensating. This is Cloud Strife. This is who had a small sword. Oh, I'm gonna scratch my name. So this is Cloud Strife. He's overcompensating for a lot. And this little prickly bastard is what you want. I mean, you can try to make something with this, but it has to be a very big piece. Like, huge. And for how many small accurate angles and all the other stuff, this tiny one is what you want. Okay, but this way before I stab myself again.
I was laughing so hard when he first started with that. I can't believe it. I was like, what are you doing, man? So as you cut those practice pieces, I'm going to go over here and get some paper ready. So I bought these paper stacks here. Cardstock, black, heavyweight. The only thing I don't like about cardstock that are sold in packs that you get from stores is that they don't tell you what the actual weight of the paper is. Now, the weight is going to determine how stiff the paper is and how thick it is. So when you start and you want to start doing your projects, the weight of the paper will determine on the type of project you're working on. If you're doing simple designs and cutouts, you don't need heavyweight paper. Like I use Post-it notes in quite a few projects, and those are basically the same weight as printer paper, which the weight of printer paper is 20 pounds. And Post-it notes are a little bit thinner than that, I believe. So they might be. I'm not 100% sure on the weight of Post-it notes. But your average inkjet printer paper, 20 pounds. Your construction paper that you usually use at school, that heavy stuff, tends to be around 110 pounds.
Stretch every now and then because your neck will get sore, and so will your back. That's just bound to happen.
Depends on the table you have, really. So, as I said, I think the best weight is around 65 pounds. That's just my personal opinion. 65 pounds is still thin enough that it's easy to cut through without having to put too much pressure, because the more pressure you put on, the more it's going to hurt your hands if you do long sessions.
How long are you? What's your longest session?
8 hours, I guess.
Full-time job. Okay, cool.
It was just over a weekend. I was just sat there and just started doing it while watching TV. So not like I was sitting there 100% of the time just constantly cutting, but so the reason why I got these papers out is, like I said, depending on what you're going to be trying to work on, the type of paper you'll need is going to change. So if we're going to do a stencil like he wanted, where you cut out the black, it'd probably be best to do it on white paper so that when you cut it out, you could see the design really easy. But if we wanted to leave the black, have that as our silhouette, it'd probably be better to cut it on black paper so that you'll have a shadow or your silhouette.
Now, okay, I have one question.
Yes.
Okay. Patience level. How much patience do you need for this?
It depends. Like,
because my quality is sucking when I'm like, just get this line done already. God dang.
Gosh dang.
Gosh dang.
So, patience varies. I know your wife, Nettie, I was teaching her.
Patience?
She said that it actually calmed her down every once in a while when she did it, and she didn't feel it was rushed. It's not something you have to try to rush to finish. You can just work on it at your own pace. A lot of people think you have to have tons of patience, but it's not like you have to finish it in one setting. You can just sit there, carefully go over the lines, and take a break if you need to. Stop, and then come back a little bit later, work on it. Like a lot of these things, I don't do in one day. I do it over a span of a week. Like that red kitty I showed you.
Yeah.
With from the Madoka series character, whatever her name is.
Lice.
This took me a span of like 4 days. It was 2 days for the silhouette design, and then everything in between was another 2 days. And they weren't consecutive days either. It was like I did this silhouette in 2 consecutive days, but then the other one I did a day after. Then the next one I did was probably a few days after because I got to work for a living, so I can't just sit here and do this all the time. And then some projects, like I said, I do finish in one day because I just have that much time. And sometimes it's just seems like it's easy and I can breeze through it, but sometimes it's just so difficult. That's why I say planning is very important, because if you have it all planned out and you know what you want, like for the stencils we have right now, these are, to me, simple enough that we can easily finish them in, I would say, less than 10 minutes if we, from start to finish.
If you were doing it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could probably do it in less than 5 minutes, but going through all the steps to get to that point, probably 10 to 15 minutes.
Ah, son of a biscuit. Sorry, go ahead. It's cursing.
I can hear that.
Man, so like I'm going at an angle and I'm like, okay, cool, do. And like there's like God. It's just I cut like this guy. Like I'm going through it and I just like cut a little bit too early.
Like I said, if you're cutting it out, you don't have to be perfect as long as the stencil of it that you want to keep it has the design you need. And you don't want to, like I said, you want to have the blade as level as you can. Like if it's like here,
yeah,
you don't want it to be bent like this as you're cutting, because you see how the cut is at an angle.
Mm-hmm.
You want it to be straighter as you cut.
Nice. So another reason for this tutorial or what have you is because we're giving you two perspectives. You have one person who's been doing it for 3 years and their art is honestly, astounding. And then sometimes when you just look at somebody who's astounding and they do it perfect every time, it kind of gets frustrating if you're new because you're like, I can't do that. So that's where I come in. Now, everybody who's watching this right now should be like, dude, I'm smarter than that guy. And the honest truth, you probably are. Maybe more artistic. I have no idea. But basically, you know where the bottom of the barrel is and you know where the top of the ceiling is. And there might be people that are better than us. I have no idea. But
there's tons of people better than us. Dang. People I follow, they make me envious. I'm like, I want to do that.
but we're giving you both perspectives because we don't want you to get frustrated. And if you see me making mistakes, it's mistakes he's probably made that he's not telling you. But he has drawn a lot of anime before and has taken his time and done it. And you're seeing me come from a perspective of somebody who just draws stick figures. So that's where I'm starting from. This is the bottom.
I never saw you draw stick figures. It was always turtlenecks.
When I drew anime a little bit, I would always put a turtleneck on because I didn't know how to draw a neck. So everybody in my anime or my comics had turtlenecks. Very short-lived series.
It was hilarious. Not just the pictures, but the story. So it went hand in hand.
Oh, son of a bitch. Oh man.
But having templates really helps, and I'm trying to get away from templates or make my own templates so that I can make my own cutting. I still use a lot of the professionals that I see that I wouldn't say professionals, I guess, but the other Kirie artists that do this. They would post their work, and I'm like, that is amazing. I want to see if I can make that. And I'll find the image or the source that they used to try to make it myself and see if I can make it just as good or put my own take on it. Because some of them, I feel I want to take a different attempt at it. Because if you look at the way I do my Kirie, I don't like to glue or tape pieces on, and some of the Kirie artists will do that. So like if a face has a mouth and they're doing the line art of the Kirie, so like if I were to do this one here, the mouth and stuff in the center, they would cut it out separately and then tape it onto white paper as they tape on all the rest of it. That doesn't connect to any other pieces to make the full image. Now still looks great. It still takes a lot of practice and patience to do it that way. I just don't like doing it that way. I like having it so that all the pieces are together. So that's why I started doing these layered Kirie, and I'm still trying to get used to it. That's why a lot of the ones I have right now aren't 100%. They look good, but they could be better compared to some of the other stuff I have.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Ah!
I'll show you this post-it note one I did.
Having fun.
Right there, that girl from Endoro. Do you see that?
Oh, hey, that looks pretty good.
I gotta turn off this autofocus so it doesn't. Change every time I move my hand back and forth. So you see here?
All right, paper. This is as gentle as I could freaking be. God, get off already.
So I made this on post-it note, purple post-it note, after rubbing the glue off. And I cut out the lines, but not all the lines, because if you do that, pieces will fall off. So for the mouth, I can't connect all the lips, because then, even for here, the top teeth, I had to stop at the top so that it wouldn't fall out. When cutting the neck and chin area, you have to leave gaps so that they don't fall out. And then, of course, I did everything that's mainly in the back, all in dark, but leaving the purple for the lines to get make it more defined.
Okay, I need some help for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, one question I have is your view of your eye, because like one thing that I'm noticing is like if I'm way the hell back here and I'm like, okay, it looks like it's about right, that ain't gonna work. So like, how close is your eye when you go? Like, because like I'm having like, is it this close? Are you like
Right
eyeing
there.
it
Like
mostly?
go back. Like right around there. That's where I usually at.
Well, okay. And then
Like I'm
like my
writing a
blade
letter
is like
close.
about 8 inches in front of me. So should I put my eye right where the knife is so I can see where the heck it's coming at, or do I go a little bit further back, or do I go to the side?
Really
Okay.
depends on
Because like
what you're
I
cutting. Because
noticed that if I
sometimes
don't have,
when I'm trying to get super detailed, like you see
Mhm.
these lashes here, there's actually a little bit of lashes at the end of here, which you can't probably see because of camera being too far away. I do get pretty close, and then I'll also put my finger right next to it to keep the paper flat as I try to get it in there. And I don't cut with my hand right over it. I cut to the side so that my eyes right here have a view. So rather than having it right in front, it's to the side so I can see inside.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to keep my eye above it because I'm finding that my vision over here is I'm going back and forth over. Like if this were the line, I'm going like this. Because like your eye view of like where your knife is going is pretty important.
Yeah. Like I said, as long as you don't bend the blade, like if you have it like this and you're trying to cut, it's not going to be good. You want it to be straight up and down.
Right towards the end of your cut.
And then you want it to be linear. Gotta see what else I got in here.
Oh, got it. Suck it.
So here's another one with a lot of curves that I did a lot of cutting out. You could see how there's the eyelash and these pieces don't intersect, but I get as close as I can. That's why you want to have the pen go up and down when you get closer to here rather than flat, or else you have a larger chance of cutting into the pieces you don't want to be cutting into. And then at the end of it, it falls apart, or if you're not careful, it may still stay together, but as you're transporting or moving it, as you can see how it flexes, those pieces will want to break apart. So you want to be careful. I've had some where I cut too close and I ended up breaking certain places because I cut just too close, and then when I was trying to flip the pages, it just ended up snapping. It was so sad.
Could I some more? Looks okay. So you start in flat, then you come out straight. Come in flat, go out straight. Come in flat, go out straight. Okay. This is starting to make a little bit more sense.
It doesn't have to be perfect all the time, but the closer you get, the better. That's all I'm gonna say.
Perfection is my middle name. First name not.
You'll get used to it. That's all I'm gonna say. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to it.
The same thing when I hit puberty.
The harder ones are the line art ones, where instead of cutting out the lines, you leave the lines.
Oh. All right, I'm gonna skip this last one.
Like this one here, which I started. Let me show you this one. I started this, and let me get the white paper. See that? We're leaving the black lines.
Yeah, that would suck.
Now those are the. I think those cutouts and Kirie's are a little more difficult. Takes a little more patience and changing your blade more often so it stays sharp and you're not.
Guitar. Boom. Right there.
Not bad, not bad. You want to try your Sailor Moon now?
Yep. She doesn't deserve whatever's coming to her, but yeah, I'm gonna do it right now.
Or give me a second. Let me
What? So me pull out one piece of paper.
Let me cut her out.
How much do I love Sailor Moon? I got a shirt of her right now.
How much do you like Sailor Moon? You're about to destroy her in your own cutout.
That's awkward. Okay.
There we go. And we have that. Ooh, look at fancy you using scissors.
Yeah. Sailor Moon deserves the best.
And then I'm gonna get my things set up. Do you put tape on all four corners, or do you only do it in certain areas?
Four corners, because I'm pretty handsy with my paper. I'm not gentle. I'm never gentle.
Please be gentle. Oh yeah. Be gentle.
Cut.
Say it like the anime.
How do they say it?
Choky.
Chokey.
Or something, whatever. Kitty. Did you ever watch Dansai Buri no Crime Edge? That's the sound he makes when he's using his scissors. He's all choky.
Ah! Take that one. Okay.
Dansai Buri no Crime Edge. Now that's a actual scary show. Because as you watch it, you're like, oh my god, this show has nothing but lolicons.
That's scary for another reason.
Oh yeah, I forgot this thicker paper. I gotta cut it deeper. So I use a metal ruler for my cuts because it's safer than a plastic or wooden one to make a line. I thought you were puking. Turn around and I see you. I thought you were like bending over the back of the chair going,
This is what I did to mine. Forward tape on the upper left, right, bottom, and all that. Backwards like that.
ooh, you're doing yours the long way. I got mine sideways.
Well, the thing is, mine has to fit in here, so it's like this is it.
Well, like I have that too. But here, you want to use mine, small little one,
It's
right
not the
here.
size that matters; it's how desperate you are.
So I can put that in here too. These smaller cutting boards are great for traveling and doing cutting. Just don't do it at an airport where you try to bring in your knives.
I mean, like if you say traveling, they're on a plane half the time, and they're gonna bring that knife on.
It's smaller than 3 inches, right? So, like I said, when you're going to do these,
Walk me through this.
how do we want to do this? Are we cutting out the black or are we leaving the black?
I say we cut out the black.
Okay, good, because I already put it on white paper, so it's good. Because if you're going to leave it on the black, I would then also draw a frame for it so that you can have it in the frame. So it'll look cooler than if you just have this thing standing still. So, like I said, you don't want it to, how do I say it? Cut it all out in one piece. You want to fragment it. So first, like I probably want to start on this little bulb here. And then I'll just start at this little section here. And then cut across. Now usually when I start slow because I usually have a new blade and I don't know how it'll pull when I'm trying to cut. Once I get a little more used to it, then I can start going faster as I'm cutting. And then once I get to the end, then I'll just cut that section out. Then use the tip to pull out the paper. But you see how I didn't cut it deep enough? So.
Oh, so you're cutting like the outline. Okay.
So I'll just go through it again. Now I know I have to push harder.
Hey, how about you do it that way and I do it the other way where I try to keep this middle part?
What's the point of me doing it another way if I'm trying to teach you?
Because I'm difficult. Okay, let's give it a try.
So then sometimes I'll turn it around to see how good I made the cut. See if it's smooth or not. If it's not smooth, then I'll go through and try to smooth it out. But that one turned out okay. Now I'll do this section here. Now because I know my first one wasn't deep enough when I first went through, now I know I need to apply a little more pressure as I go through. So now if we were to go through here, you'll see it comes out. Because now I know I needed more pressure. Start from here. Go down. The only reason I do these slower is because, like I said, I'm turning it. So I'm also spinning the knife in my hand. And I don't want to go through that fast because then you'll break the tip of the blade. That's just from my personal experience. If you can go faster, try. But I wouldn't. Let's see, I didn't get close enough to this edge here. There we go. And then we turn it around to see how smooth our cuts are. And now we're only worrying about the outline. We're not worrying about the inside, like I said. Now we can do this section here. Where we go through here. I'll go over here.
He's got pizza on the mind.
What? Pizza? Where?
Yep. She has pizza on the mind.
Oh, yeah.
Had lasagna for dinner. It was good. Okay.
You had lasagna?
Yes, I did.
No fair.
Made it myself.
Okay, never mind. I feel sorry for your family.
They're dead already. Anyway.
I've eaten your food. It's terrible. This comes from a cook that tries to cut sandwiches using a spoon. Then we'll go through this way. Continuing on from here. We'll cut straight from here to this section so we can get that out.
So that nose, I'm going to start flat right at the end and then cut my way back.
Da 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 da. We can't have any copyright music, so we'll sing it. See how it's coming out?
Yep.
And we'll just do this one part here all in once. It's actually not so bad.
Here's what I got so far.
What?
Here's what I got so far.
Okay, give me a second. Cut this long piece out. What? I'm sorry, I'm not looking. I'm looking now. Make some sound so my computer switches to camera to you. Yeah, that's not bad. That's almost what I have.
Good.
Look. We almost got the same thing.
We do exactly have the same thing. The same exact gosh darn thing.
Yeah, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
One. Two.
I was laughing at that so hard when I was watching Family Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Chris starts dating this Mexican lady, and she drops off her kids. She has 2 kids for Chris to take care of because she was getting deported or something.
I remember that episode.
And he's like, "Don't worry, I'll take good care of you. I'm going to call you Juan, and I'm going to call you 2." I was like, "Oh my god." So there we go. I guess that's upside down for you guys, but if I hold it like that, it looks right. Now we'll go from here to here. Now, everything doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, if you want it to be, it's going to be difficult for you. But I say get as close as you can because that's really what.
Is it a grab at my talent? Huh? No? Jerk.
Yeah, because like I noticed some artists that actually put videos out, they don't go exactly to 100% whatever the line says. They get as close as they can so that it makes the image. And it also personalizes the art that they're making, you know what I mean? Because it's not 100% perfect, but whatever. There we go. Now we got her body. You got this much at least?
Still working on it. Delicate cut. Friday Eve about moonlight.
I wonder how that camera's recording if it's going correctly with your head all twisted like that.
Never running from a real bat. She will never turn her back on her friends unless her name is Tank. Cause fuck. Oops, crap. Oops, crap.
So, my friend here is a big Sailor Moon fan.
There, that's what I got.
There's tons of Sailor Moon fans out there, but this guy's special. In high school, when we were playing tennis, anytime he scored a point, he would sing the Sailor Moon theme.
Yep, that sounds like me.
He would all be sitting there.
Well, I mean, we didn't score that often, so I mean, I had to celebrate with something.
Yeah, we're doubles tennis players.
I mean, because honestly, what was it? Yeah, if you look bad when you don't score a point after 6 sets, you might as well. I mean, if you're gonna look like an idiot, you might as well just go full ball.
You don't know what the funniest thing is?
What's that?
The only games I did win in tennis were the games I wasn't partnered with you. We had bad synergy.
Saying you were holding me back. That's what I'm hearing. Ooh, that's close.
Bad synergy between you and I.
Yeah, I noticed that when we play the bot lane in League of Legends. I mean, we just both have different mindsets. You want to win, and I don't give a crap. Definitely don't work together.
Ooh, no, oops. Ew.
Okay, where are we at so far?
Now I have to go around this corner. Get that. And then go around this side. I actually went to a convention and found his favorite character being cosplayed by a guy. Actually got him to pose and everything just for him so he can get a nice
I had to remember, dude.
picture.
Yeah, that's impressive.
He happens to like the worst Sailor Scout in the world.
You shut your horse mouth. Come on. Ah! Obliterate you.
There we go. So now we got Spiral. Oh, I guess I need to start recording. But this is what I was talking about when you have to be very careful with certain cuts because you see how close that one is right here.
Yep, I see it.
If you get too close or you have it too flat, when you get to this point, it may fall off, especially as you're working and turning it. So that's where practice helps you become better as a person. What are you doing? Setting a bomb?
Trying to. I think my audio recording. Oh, it's a low battery. That's what happened. The GoPro finally pooped out.
Oh, that's so sad.
Oh.
Are those things expensive?
No, I just buy them from like recently divorced couples, and it's pretty cool. If people get divorced, they sell stuff for real cheap.
I guess you should find me one.
Actually, on Amazon, they're just like $100, I think.
I'd rather take a divorced couples.
Oh man,
because I know it's gonna last. Was that a joke in bad taste? I don't know.
There's no such thing as bad taste. Except if you have a bad tasting food in your mouth. Okay.
Oh, see, this piece doesn't want to come out. Why? It's because it didn't cut far enough. There we go. There we go. Then I'll have it look somewhat like yours. Let me see here.
Okay.
Slice. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, what am I doing? There we go.
Come on, Sailor Moon. Let's have a little slice of life.
Do 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 do.
Oh, Jesus.
It sounded delicious.
It was. Thing had like, I think 80 grams of protein in just one lasagna.
There we go. By doing that, I now have a miniature version of what you have. And we could just take this off and have our final. And this would be when I would do my cleanup work or anything. Like this kind of doesn't seem smooth enough, so I'll go through and just cut around it so it smooths the edge around. Even right here, seems it kind of doesn't round out 100%, so I'll just go through it by eye. Cut that to clean that up. This all looks good here. This right here has a little bump, so go through and cut that little bump out to smooth it out. And yeah. There we go. Now we got your Sailor Moon. Then we can put any color paper weight behind it. And now it pops out. I'll just warn you now, I don't know how to use computers. Oh, that's what she says.
Are you reading my shirt?
Yeah. I'm reading Serena's shirt.
I'll just warn you right now. Wait, I'll just warn you now. I don't know how to use a computer. I use this because I'm a tech where I work, so it makes it kind of hilarious.
Isn't her name Serena, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Or it's Skino.
Skino, you crabby?
What do you call her?
Call her my hero, champion of my people. middle part is so freaking fragile.
Is it really?
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't fall out, you're good. Or you can do like I said, some of the other people do. They'll cut it out like that, and then they'll pick glue and they'll glue it onto another surface so everything stays.
Oh,
You don't have to worry. I don't like that, although it keeps it flat and you can see how good the cuts were. The reason I don't like it is that people can't pick it up and be like, whoa, it really was cut.
Okay. Okay, so I got it. Oh, son of a biscuit. It's like a long ass. There it is.
You're not going to do any cleanup work on it?
I did.
A for effort, Petty. A for effort. If I could, I'd give you a gold star.
You know there's an A in fail, by the way. There's no A in effort, but there's an A in fail.
The only thing I would say, like, look on my paper. And then refer to your picture. Okay? Right here.
Yeah?
It seems like at one point, like especially right around this area, you lifted up your blade and then you went to cut again. So it has this little jaggedness right around this area.
Oh, yeah, right. It does. I'm trying to fix it.
That's what I meant by doing cleanup to smooth it out. And then you do have a little bit along this bottom edge too. Like the initial design is good because you could tell what it's supposed to be and what you wanted. But as far as cleanup goes, you can do better.
Oh, it's just so fragile. God, it's like holding glass. Okay, and I think that's all I have time for tonight. But that's not a bad start. We'll have to pick a time like in 2 weeks to do another set.
I don't think I can do that.
Why not?
I think I'll be flying down there, won't I?
No, SakuraCon's 4 weeks away, dude.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 2 weeks fits us on like right near your birthday, I think.
Yay!
Yeah, not that bad. The only thing is, like, from my perspective, is you have to practice the cuts ahead of time. You can't just go.
You want to rush. That's, I think, your problem. You want to rush.
Yeah, no. But and if you have a part that looks like it's very delicate, you have to start with the knife up at that point and then cut back. And then if it's like a point like this, then if you have something that's a fine point, it's hard to. You have to start with your knife up and then into it and then pull back.
So, like you see here at this corner here.
Yeah.
If you were to have been cutting towards that, like if you start from here cutting towards this, and then when you cut from here going downwards, will more likely weaken this point to where it would break. So you actually want to start from here and cut away, which is what I did, going towards the neck. Then I cut away going up towards this section.
Yeah, just basically if you have a point, start your knife at the point and pull back. Don't follow the entire way, but that's like the way to make it a lot easier because those are the points that I struggle with the most, and I got it right now. But that's what those practice on those stars were doing, and the triangles and all the other stuff is practicing starting at that point and pulling back, because that's where your project might go awry if you don't have that technique down.
Yeah, and if I were you, I would go out and buy yourself some washi paper, like washi tape. Sorry, it's very simplistic Kind of looks like rice paper tape, if anything.
Is it rice? Can you eat
It
it?
actually looks like masking tape a little
So
bit,
what I've already been using.
but it's a little bit thinner and isn't as sticky. So it's easy to remove. But when you do put on something, it will stick so that you can hold it down.
Oh, okay.
And then, like when you need to, you can just easily put your knife underneath, lift up, and you see how it just easily peels off without
Causing a whole bunch of havoc.
yeah. So
Okay.
well, I use it a lot when I make very thin cuts, and I have to rotate a lot. So if it were me, and this is a bigger project, I would have probably put tape like that after I cut that section out. And then as I worked here, I wouldn't have to worry about this flipping around all over the place because I have it taped down. See? Now
So
I
you
can
can
move it and do things and not have to worry about this being flipped underneath or being torn away because the tape here is going to hold it in place until I finish the rest of the cuts.
All right. I feel you. I feel you. I'll get some of that rice paper tape thingy. Oh.
So this will help. The other thing is sometimes, like I said, you can draw lines. Like if I drew a line and then I left that line as I was cutting, it would hold it in place until I finished everything else, and then I can go through and cut those lines out. And it would add stability to a lot of these weaker areas as you're working so that it doesn't fold in or it doesn't cause you problems later on. But at the end of it all, you have to go back through and cut all those stuff out. Now she's looking to the right. Now she's looking to the left. How does she do it? Yep. So that's Kirie paper cutting, some techniques that I use.
From stars to Sailor Moon is basically where we started from in this episode.
What you started from, not me.
You were there with me.
When I first started, my first project was Homer crying while she's holding a gun. It was this black and white image that took me 3 attempts to get it done right.
Yeah.
It caused me a lot of problems, and it was pretty terrible. Then, like my second project was Shimapan. And the only reason I did that was so that I could change the colors of the stripes by just change the paper. Yeah, so.
Wait. So mine's intact and together, and it only took me, well, how long have we been at this? Now? So that means I'm better than you.
Maybe you are.
Just
I started with harder projects because when I first tried this, I was like, a friend had posted a Kirie someone else made, and I was like, is that really that difficult to do?
Right.
I was wondering if it really was difficult to do and make, so that's why I started Kirie, and then I realized, yep, it's hard. It's difficult. So, and then I just kept on trying and trying to see if I can get better. Then I saw people that actually do it a lot, and I was like, holy cow, how do you make that? And I just had to keep on learning. So are you gone? Yeah, it looks like he's gone. So I guess that'll be it for today. Thank you guys. Bye bye.